Hey guys, this is James's boat bill. I know this is a little bit awkward, right? But I got epoxy all over my hands, and I want to show you how I make up the epoxy. So for me, in my ratio, here, come here for a second. Bring it in closer. I'm using the West system with the 105 resin and the 206 slow hardener, and I need 12 pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 12. All right, so I got 12 pumps, hardener, and it's 1-to-1 ratio on the pumps. Hold on a second, I gotta get the drill. I'll mix it up with this drill, and you know, for about a minute or so, you get it good and mixed up. You know, when you're doing this, you know, type of resin and epoxy filler stuff, you really want to make sure that you get it properly measured out. That's why I use the pumps. There's no guessing, one to one, and I think it's like 5 parts of resin and 1 part of hardener. So it's a 5-to-1 ratio, but the pumps figure it out all for you. So I get that good and mixed up, and I got a nice surprise for you to see after this. We've just been hammering out. It ended up being a cool day this morning. Cool meaning it only started off around 75, 74 degrees, and we took advantage of it because obviously the lower the temperature start off is, the better it's going to be. I don't know if you can see this. No, I guess you can't. But I use the 403 West System Silica, and I pour it in there. And I need, oh, I got my stick. So you can probably see, well, I'll show you, there you go. So it's very fine powder, and this is used as a binding agent to keep, to fill for, you know, structural building. You know, it's basically epoxy. And, well, it is epoxy with silica fillers, and each one of them, like I got this 407. This is a low density filler, and that's used for fairing. This stuff here, this big box I got from Amazon, they were pretty much giving it away. It's a $300 value I got for 150 bucks. And I'm putting my second scoop in there. It's a lot more than what I needed, but I'm finding I am using a lot of it. So it's coming in handy. Opposed to this container was like $35, and it's not cheap. The resin's gone up. I got that for $3.25 a jug, and that's this stuff here, and that's the 105 resin, the West System epoxy resin. I got it for $3.25. The shit's selling for like $3.75 now. 50 bucks for what? So anyway, but then again, it seems like our dollar is not worth as much anymore. Everything's gone up. So that's the consistency. Pretty much like peanut butter. That's exactly what I want. And so what do I do after that? I bought these, seems like this is the brand that you want. Key seals, and they're basically pastry plastic bags for, you know, like putting icing on a cake. Well, we're gonna put icing on this cake, and my cake is my boat. So I'll load it up. I cut out this little plastic container, and I use it as a, it just kind of makes it easier to get the resin in there. So I'll scoop it all up and stick it all in there. I wanted to show you guys how I laid it up. I installed the other front panel. That's the surprise. And I wanted to show you guys how I did it, but quite honestly, it's a mess. You can see how, you know, it's gloves and rushing because it's epoxy. You know, you only have so much long for a pot life, and pot life meaning when it's all together in the pot, and it doesn't have. It'll kick off the quickest when it's all together. When it's spread out, that's another thing. And now it's thin, it's less dense, and it doesn't have as much mass together for the chemicals to react, and then it'll last a good slow time. This will take a good hour before it sets because it's slow epoxy. So I'm trying to get everything out, and I'm trying to rush it. I'm trying to explain to you guys. And I normally don't do this, but I figured, you know, maybe this will give someone a helping hand on how to do their layups and glue-ups. And it worked out good for me. You don't have to use West System. I'm not a sponsor of West System. I don't care whether you use it or not. It's just it works for me. And I look for deals. And if I'm gonna spend money on resin, I'm gonna get the good stuff. I bought the internet cheap shit, and that's what it is. It's cheap shit. So here it is, all in my little pastry bag, and I'll kind of flip it down and get it all in there. See, I got that whole pastry bag full of resin. I use the corner of my table here and go on. So now I got a whole mixed, basically like a caulking gun, you know, worth of resin. So now we come over to the boat. I'll show you. There we go. So what I'm gonna do is fill in the gaps on the top. Pretty much basically just pinched off, snipped off the little tip there, and now I'm going to fill the gaps, just like icing on a cake. And this might be a little bit overkill, but I'd rather be safe than sorry, because I am going to ground down this section and to make it obviously even. And I made my little stool, my workbench stool, and try to have at it. I really don't like to get interrupted while I'm doing this because it is time sensitive, and I want to do a good job. And yeah, come over here. We're gonna fill these gaps in. And that's the beauty of this stuff. You know, you build it as close as you can, and you make it nice. But let's face it, everything is not nice. And, you know, we make mistakes. And, you know, we go on from there. Not that this is really big mistakes, because I need this gap here to apply the other plywood that's going to go on top of this. That's pretty much it. I'm just gonna kind of scrape off the remainder as I go up. Kind of hard to work and film at the same time, but hey, if that's what it takes, it's what it takes. I gotta get used to it, right? And just kind of work my way up, squishing it in there. And pretty much all of this is going to be ground away, but this is going to really ensure that I have a maximum bond, and there's no little spaces that air could gonna, you know, get caught up in. I'm just forcing it right in there and then grind it down later. Okay, got a little extra there, might as well use it there. And yeah, that looks good. All right, so hey, this is James's boat build. I got epoxy still going, and there's more in the bag. I got to get under the boat and fill some of those cracks and crevices. I appreciate you watching. Thanks for the subscriptions. Give me a thumbs up. I'm sweating out here for you guys. No, I'm only kidding. I love it. I love making the videos, and I love you guys subscribing and watching and carrying on. We're going to build this boat. We're going to put the other layers on, and we're going to fiberglass it and paint it, and it's going to be wonderful. And then we're going to flip it. All right, guys. Have a good day.